Hello again, gamers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm the Captain.
And I'm Alex.
And today we're going to be doing a tutorial and giveaway for my game, Slingshot Maneuver, which was briefly in print from Nestor Games. It's already back out of print, but I did pre-order a number of copies. So I'm going to be able to give one of those copies away to one of you. So watch to the end, watch the tutorial and check it out, see if it's something you're interested in. Watch to the end to see how to enter the giveaway. All right, so really quick, we're just going to show like what comes in here. You get the rules. I tried to be fairly clear with the rules. I can't really judge my own work, mind you, but I tried to be as clear as possible with the rules, and I did get lots of... Nestor made the diagrams. I think the diagrams of the different moves came out really well. What did you think of the rules, by the way, of how it came out?
They're good. They're good. The thing is about this game is that you can set up so variously that you really need the kind of thing to show you how to do it. And then the movement isn't complicated, but when you're building upon itself, you need some pretty good directions to tell you how your attacks and your split fleets and all that kind of stuff.
Did you think the rules
and this does a good job of explaining all that.
Very good.
So that's what I'm saying. Like it's you need a good set of rules to make this game work out, and this worked out well.
So we've got the board here. You're going to see lots more of this out on the table, but it is a neoprene board. You've got the solar system here and all of the special tactical action buttons there. I'm going to go over them in a minute, what each of them can do. These are really cool for when playing the advanced version to let you get extra actions basically on your turn. Then we have red and blue dice to represent the fleets of ships. And white discs. And that's really all the components. That's all you've got. You got a bag of white discs. You got a bag of...
Yeah. And the handy travel size.
The standard Nestor Games bag. My continual complaint is always that the name of the game is not on the bag. I'm even going to have that complaint with my own game. My own game. I don't care. But I do like how my symbol came out, though. Yeah. The symbol for Slingshot Maneuver showing the ship coming around, which Danielle, who's the artist that I worked with, did a great job on this stuff. Yeah,
yes,
I think
absolutely
gorgeous. So, all right, real quick before we get into it, there is a basic game where you just play it as a abstract game going around the planets and fighting over the planet for control of the planets of the solar system. However, the advanced game adds in the tokens and allows you to put the tokens on the buttons. When you complete the number that is under one of the buttons, you get to do an extra action on your turn immediately upon completing the number of tokens that are needed to activate that tactical action, which then allows you to do 2 actions on a turn, and some of them can be really, really game-changing and really awesome. They are totally symmetrical.
Yep.
And here's what you got. So the first one is Sneak Attack, which allows you to do an extra slingshot maneuver. That one takes 3 tokens to fill up. The second one is Hidden Shipyard. Takes 4 tokens, and it allows you to place a 3-strong fleet on any currently unoccupied planet. Right. This can be a late game winner on occasion.
Yes, that's a big deal. It's the most expensive, but it's for a reason.
Because I used to during playtesting we had it cheaper, and it was just too cheap. I kept having to increase the cost.
Yeah, it was the first thing. It was the first and only thing.
That we're like,
everybody did it.
Yeah, because it was this has to go up in value.
Yeah.
So then we've got only one cost. We have
Redistribute Resources.
Redistribute Resources, which is one that allows you to take any number of tokens from an incomplete button and move them to another button. This can be a really great way to do misdirection. You can slowly build up tokens on one of your tactical actions and then place it there and just move them off to another one, and then doing that can complete that button, which can be really awesome. The next one is Sleeper Agent. Which that one, when you complete it, it costs 2 to complete, and it allows you to take all of the tokens off an incomplete button of your opponents, and then take one of those tokens that you took off and add it to one of your buttons. This can be really great to mess with someone's like Hidden Shipyard or something else.
Or Hidden Shipyard or
anything.
Yeah.
Basically.
Prototype Weapon is also, when you get to that one is very important to interrupt as well.
Yes, it is. It is, especially early game. Early game, yes. Then we have Hidden Maneuvers, which allows you to do a free split fleet maneuver. We have Redistribute Resources, only costs 1.
And it's Logistics.
Oh, Logistics, thank you.
Yes.
Forgetting the names to my own actions.
Redistribute Resources with the earlier one.
Yes, it was the earlier one. This is similar to that, though, because that one allows you to redistribute tokens. This one, for Logistics, allows you to take any number of ships from one of your fleets and move it to another fleet. Again, only costs 1.
Yes.
And then for 3, we have Prototype Weapon, which allows you to do a free either Slingshot or Split Fleet maneuver. Only you don't do damage as normal. You don't do the attack as normal. Instead, you literally wipe out both fleets when they run into each other.
Yes.
Because it's like setting off a single ship with an atom bomb. And finally, we have Recommission a Mothball Fleet, which costs 2, and it allows you to add 1 ship to one of your fleets.
Correct.
So now everybody that I've played with has different favorites of these. All these get used by different people, but we're going to jump right in. We're going to show you an advanced game of this and show you how some of these work. We're going to show you how the game works. There are 3 possible choices for actions on your turn, and we're going to go through all 3 of them during our game, and then we're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit about how this game feels, and then we're going to give one away to one of you. So we'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, so here we are set up to play a game of Slingshot Maneuver. I'm going to be playing on this side of the table here, and I'll be using the blue fleets.
And I'll be playing over on this side with the red fleets.
So at the beginning of the game, we, if we haven't already played a game, we roll off to see who's going to go, decide if they want to go first or second. I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 5.
Do you want to go first or second?
I will go first.
Okay, so since Alex will be going first, he's going to place one of his fleets of 1 ship on one of the planets, taking control of that planet. So that is one of the key places. Most people start off by taking this control point specifically because it is at the choke point from 2 different divergent paths around the solar system. Very good play on Alex's part. So now I will have to try to counteract it by taking a planet next to it to keep Alex from being able to gain control of one of these entire paths. So I'm going to place 1 ship there. So now, if Alex were able to take control of this planet as well, later when placing extra ships in some of his fleets, he could ignore that one because it would not be in danger, would not be adjacent to any of my fleets, which means I'm now going to really have to place a ship there if I don't want him to get that advantage. Similarly, this area here could very easily be mostly taken over by Alex in the same fashion, as could this area here. So having done this and split it in both directions, I'm going to take this one because he could take that with a single die if I did not take Jupiter. So Jupiter is mine.
Jupiter is mine.
My Jupiter.
Jupiter is yours. Well, then I think, and this one's a bit of a toss-up, but I think where I'm already set up, I'm going to go for Saturn.
All right. So I'm going to take this planet here. So Alex gets to place another ship, and since there are no more open planets to take control of, he's going to get to increase the size of one of his fleets by 1 ship.
That will be that guy on little old Earth.
So I'm gonna do the same right next door, and then Alex gets to do 1 more, bringing his total number of ships up to 6.
Let's go right there.
After which, due to the advantage of going first, I get to place 2 additional ships to counterbalance Alex's advantage. So I'm going to place 1 here and 1 here. Spread out some nice 2-size fleets all over the place.
I'm going to place my first token on the free
Sneak attack.
sneak attack. That's what
Which
it is.
lets you get a free slingshot maneuver if it's completed, which it needs 3 tokens to be completed.
And then I'm going to do a build action.
So for a build action, Alex is allowed to build a number of ships equal to the number of planets he controls. He currently controls 4 planets, so he can build 4 ships in any of his fleets, distributed as he sees fit. And then when he's done, he gets to place another tactical token on one of the buttons.
So 4. So 1 becomes 3.
It's 2 ships.
And 3, 4.
Okay, and where are you going to place your extra token?
On Secret Agent.
Well, that's an interesting placement.
Sleeper Agent, sorry.
I'm going to place a token on Sleeper Agent myself, followed by a build action. So I get 4 ships as well. So I'm going to bring this one up to a 4. I'm going to bring this one up to a 3. And this one up to a 3 for my 4 ships. And then for my extra token, I'm going to place the second token on Sleeper Agent, activating it, which means I get to choose 1 incomplete strategy button from my opponent's side. I remove all the tokens from it, steal one, and place it on a button of my choice. I'm going to remove the one from the sneak attack, and I'm going to place it on prototype weapon.
I'm going to place there. I'm going to do another build.
Okay.
So while I have the
So where are you going to place
build
those
is
4
going to
ships?
become 2, 3, 4.
Oh boy. Interesting. I'm going to place another token on prototype weapon, followed by a build action myself. For my build action, I'm going to build 2 here.
Whoa. Here comes the pain.
And then 1 each on these 2 fleets, followed by I'm going to place my second token on prototype weapon. Now, when you do prototype weapon, it allows you to either do a free split fleet maneuver or slingshot maneuver. And when you run into an enemy fleet, instead of doing damage normally, which we haven't explained yet because we haven't done a normal split fleet maneuver or slingshot maneuver yet, but instead of doing damage normally, you just wipe out both fleets as if that ship that you sent was carrying a nuclear bomb. So I'm going to do a split fleet maneuver with this one. I'm going to knock this 6 down to a 5 and add a separate fleet of a single ship. That single ship is going to immediately move off towards this 4, and it is going to wipe the 4 and itself off the board.
Kablooey. So...
All right, so Alex just placed the 3rd token on his sneak attack strategy button, which means that he's going to get to do a free slingshot maneuver. So, Alex, which fleet is going to do the slingshot maneuver?
It's going to be this fleet.
So now what happens is this fleet's going to start by picking a direction around the sun, and then going in that direction, it will start by orbiting its planet. So, and then counting the orbits as it goes, we'll count 1, 2, and then when it runs into an enemy fleet, it does that much damage to that fleet. So it did 2 orbits, so my 5 will go down to a 3. After that, the ships will fight it out. Now, when the fleets fight it out, you reduce the number of ships in each fleet by the number equal to the smaller of the 2 fleets. So the 3 will be wiped out, and the 4 will get knocked down to a 1. But Alex wins the fight and wipes out my largest fleet, and he hasn't even taken his action for this turn yet. That was all through one of the strategy buttons.
Correct. So now...
Which is why that was so awesome.
Yes. It's going to get dicey here.
How I like it.
That's how I like it. Slingshot maneuver.
Okay, so you're going to do another slingshot maneuver using that fleet there. It's going to go 1, 2, 3. Wow! Knocking my 4 down to a 1, and then being wiped out and knocking his fleet down to a 2. So will that be it for your turn then?
That does it.
All right, so that was, wow, 2 slingshot maneuvers on Alex's turn. Very, very deadly.
The board is wide open now.
It is indeed. So I'm going to place a token on Hidden Shipyard, and then I'm going to do a split fleet maneuver. I'm going to knock this fleet down to a 2, followed by...
What was that, a 4 before?
It was a 4, followed by adding another 2 fleet to the board. The second 2 fleet is going to do, of course, a split fleet maneuver. What happens is it cannot orbit its planet, because when you do a split fleet maneuver, that's one of the main differences. Split fleet maneuver, then you pick a direction and fly off like you do in a slingshot maneuver. You can start orbiting planets, or you could go to a single planet, orbit it, and stop and just take it over if you want. But I'm going to basically start orbiting planets like you would with a slingshot maneuver.
Build up
so I'm going to
momentum.
go 1, 2, 3, and wipe out your fleet completely and take Jupiter back.
Jupiter has been returned. Mothballed ship.
Oh, recommission a mothballed ship.
Recommission a mothballed ship.
That's much easier to complete. Only needs 2 tokens.
Correct. And I'm going to do a slingshot. 1, 2, 3. Completely knocking that one out.
Fair enough. With the board so empty, and so much space between our fleets, it makes sense to continue to do these big, strong maneuvers.
Right.
Especially since Alex has left me in a place where I can actually wipe out his 3 fleets. So I'm going to
Correct.
place another token on my hidden shipyard as a plan B, but I'm just going to do another slingshot maneuver myself, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, wiping out that 3 fleet and taking over Earth.
Taking over the Earth.
But I think I know what Alex is going to do now on his turn. Now I know why you were doing the recommission and mothballed ship. You were preparing for another split fleet maneuver.
Perhaps. Yes.
Recommission a mothballed ship? I thought you might. So now that allows him to build 1 ship in one of his fleets here, and he has 1 fleet, so it's going to go up to a 2, which means now that fleet has enough ships for a split fleet maneuver. Split fleet maneuvers in these situations are great because he allows him to control 2 planets at the end of this turn, rather than just 1 if he had done a slingshot maneuver, so that he will not be in danger of just losing on my turn.
Right. So, I guess we could go play the game.
Indeed. Ouch. Ouch, 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 I have to say.
But I know what's going to happen next. I had to make a decision there, and I don't know if it was the right one. Because I had an opportunity to do something I wanted to do, but I didn't think I was going to survive long enough if I didn't do that.
I'm going to place a token on the hidden shipyard, followed by a build action. I'm going to build this fleet up to 2, and I'm going to activate Hidden Shipyard. Now, Hidden Shipyard allows me to place a fleet of 3 ships on any uncontrolled planet. And I'm going to take that planet right there. Put it on Hidden Shipyard.
Oh, I don't think this game's going to last long enough to use that.
Probably not, actually. Placing it on
Secret
maneuvers, which, when completed, will allow you to do a free split fleet maneuver.
Right. Which, when the board's this wide open, could be very valuable.
It could be very valuable.
If this thing lasts long enough for it to happen.
We're about to. It's getting the war is very much heating up, and it is getting really deadly. Slingshot maneuver.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Oh, and I knew that was coming, but there wasn't a whole lot I could do for it. So I'm going to drop a token on recommission a mothballed ship. I'm going to do a split fleet maneuver myself. And I'm going to go... Whoops.
Ooh.
And I'm going to go 1, 2, and wipe out this fleet there. It still puts me in a pretty good position on your turn.
For sure.
Oh, you're going to complete the sleeper agent. Take my token off of... Oh, very nicely done. So he took the token off of my recommissioned mothballed ship and added it to his hidden maneuvers.
Build action.
Really?
Oops.
Oh, because you immediately get to do this free split fleet maneuver. Very nice. Wow. Hats off to you, sir. That was well played. I'm in trouble. I think you might have got me. Ouch. Saving that sleeper agent really helped you, because now, even with a build action, I'm not going to be able to get 2 fleets back on the board, which means I'd be wiped out on my turn. So I'm gonna pull the Band-Aid off. I'm gonna throw a token down on hidden maneuvers myself. I'm going to do a quick slingshot maneuver around and wipe out one of your fleets, and you can go ahead and finish us off.
Yeah. Secret weapon, doesn't matter.
Doesn't even matter which way you go.
Doesn't even matter. 1, 2, kablooey.
Well done, sir. Good game.
Very good game.
And that is how you play a game of slingshot maneuver. It's really that easy, and that's the advanced version also. So the basic version just removes all of the tokens and doesn't use the buttons, but otherwise plays exactly the same. So now we're going to head back over and we're going to talk about the game, and we're going to give a copy away.
Cool.
Okay, welcome back.
Welcome back.
So that was how you play a game of slingshot maneuver. Now, I don't want to toot my own horn so much because I feel like it's somehow, a social faux pas to talk very positively about my own game. since I did all the design on this game. I'm going to let Alex talk about what he likes or doesn't like about this game, and I'll just, respond if you have points that seem like they're directly addressed to me. So first off, do you have any negatives with my game?
The only thing I don't, it needs like a cheat sheet for the tactical attributes. They're in the I'm sorry, the rules. They're very well laid out in the rules. I just need, like, I always forget. We forgot what one of them was called when we were doing the introduction. So I always have to refer to that thing because I get confused.
I never forget what they do, though, because the little symbols on them do help me remember what they do.
Right, but I always get logistics and
Redistribute Resources?
And Redistribute Resources confused as well because they're both with one. Yeah. So I want to make sure you put it on the right button.
So okay, that's fair. That's a fair point.
That's the only thing with the design and the gameplay. I've watched this evolve.
Well, I was going to say you helped me play test it,
and
I've been working on it.
The addition of those tactical attributes, I think, just took it to a whole different level.
Oh, well,
it's a much more complete game. The game itself is fun with the slingshot maneuver because there's still a lot of strategy to it because you still have to make sure you're.
Yeah, so to explain, when I was first working on this, originally the basic version of the game, which did not have any of the tactical actions or the buttons or the little tokens, it was just what is now currently the basic game, which is kind of like training wheels, and once you get past that, you're just going to play the advanced game because it's much better.
Yeah, and so, but like that forethought and that planning and everything like that takes place in the base game, but it just becomes,
bigger,
exponentially more interesting and complicated when you add those different buttons. The sleeper agent function is perpetually
you and
popular.
Well, I was gonna say you and I are big fans of it. Other people, everyone has their own favorites. Other people are less big fans of it. Some people feel like it has to be used in certain scenarios, like when you see someone going for prototype weapon early, or if you see someone starting to build up the hidden shipyard. There will be people that will go for it, but otherwise will ignore it until they see someone start doing one of those, and then they're like, okay, no, I got to put some stuff on it. A lot of people do what you did in the game, which is put one token on it and then just leave it until okay, now it has to happen.
Right.
So they can just slam the other token.
A little get out of jail free card there if you find yourself backed up against a wall.
But we like it. I think you and I like it above average compared to the other people who play test the game, because everybody else didn't use it, because we always use it.
Yes.
I don't think there's ever been a game that I have not used
Sleeper Agent. Yeah. Well, there's when you and I play, there's 3 or 4 that seem to always get filled up.
We go for a lot of the same ones. I have a friend who really likes the Redistribute Resources because he likes to use it to sneakily put a couple tokens on something and then redistribute resources. Then he moves those tokens onto Sleeper Agent to knock off all the tokens on one of yours and take one of them and put it on something else, which causes this crazy chain reaction. He does it all the time, and it's funny because if he hasn't done the redistribute resources yet, what he's building up is not necessarily what he's playing.
Exactly. Yeah, and there's certainly. So that's what I'm saying. It adds a lot of that complexity to it. I love the size of the games. Nestor games, takeaway games they're just great. I mean, it's a perfect application for your game. I thought.
Oh, thank you.
The right idea. Danielle did the board, right?
Yeah, and
great job.
Oh, the artwork is fantastic. The colors are really pop.
Yeah, did a really good job with that.
I could not be more pleased with how the board came out. She did a phenomenal job.
So from your MS Draw version.
Oh, my very early primitive artwork drawing. Yes. The one where I had the silver marker for the line.
Right, and then the one erased because you didn't like the one.
Because I didn't like. Yeah, I changed the board a little bit.
Right. But the evolution from that all the way to this.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I never seen a game designed from start to finish, so that was interesting for me. But
cool.
And then to see what it became, what it started off as, and what it became. It took a little while to get there, but it was really really interesting way to do it. And I think you landed on a really good game, and it's whoever gets it out there, you win this one. First of all, it's a collector item automatically.
Yeah, because it's gonna be so rare. Yeah. there's only a handful of these out there.
Right.
There's apparently a few going to be on shelves in Italy and Japan, and nowhere else. Nowhere else. And when I say a few, I mean 10 in Italy. The whole country.
And 11 in Japan. You're right.
So there's not going to be that many out there.
Right.
So this will be a collector's item. I am going to try to get this back in print, but if I do, obviously it'll be from a different company. It's probably not going to be in the pouch. It'll probably be a box team if I get it back in print. So this will be a collector's item to actually have the first edition of this.
Sure.
So good luck to all you guys. The way to enter to win the contest is this. You have to send me an email. My email address is in the description down below. The title of the email will be Slingshot Maneuver Giveaway. And the body of the email just says what your YouTube sign-on name is. Then you have to like this video and down below comment, tell me if you had a starship, what would the name of your starship be? Do all that, and you are entered to win a copy of Slingshot Maneuver. I will cover the postage to anywhere, but I am not responsible if it gets lost in the postage, if it's going to a foreign country. So I'm just throwing that out there because I have had some issues with some foreign post offices, and I can't replace this if it gets lost by your post office. So I'll do my best, but I will cover one of these to anywhere in the world.
The great big wide world.
All right, so there you go.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this, you'd like to see me do more giveaways like this in the future, be sure to give it a like, share it on all forms of social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Captain. That's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube. And until next time, game on.